Students, we studied about criteria for new system of organization, that is the criteria's grades of organization, then body symmetry. I showed you the clips also on this. Then germ layers. So this three criteria we studied about. So let us continue with body cavity, but before continuing with body cavity, see, let us go through this once again. Germ layers, diploblastic and triploblastic. In case of multicellular animals, germ layers are formed during initial period of their embryonic development. So what happens in case of multicellular animals? The germ layers, okay, they are formed during initial period of their embryonic development. So when the development of the embryo is taking place, that time the germ layers are formed, and from these germ layers different tissues are formed in the body. Now in case of some animals there are two germ layers, that is the ectoderm and the endoderm. The outer one is the ectoderm, inner one is the endoderm. So all cetaceans, okay, examples. In most of all the remaining animals, three germ layers are formed, that is mesoderm, besides endoderm and ectoderm. See the germ layers, okay. So these are the group of cells behaving as a unit during embryonic development. So during the embryonic development only the germ layers, the development of germ layers take place, okay. So what happens during this? See, you can see the embryo in the mother's womb, okay. So you can see the diploblastic and the triploblastic. So what happens here? See, the development of the germ layer is taking place, okay, and these germ layers, okay, slowly develops into tissues, and there are two types of layers, that is diploblastic and triploblastic layers. Now in diploblastic layer, the outer layer is the ectoderm, okay, and the inner layer is endoderm. Now see what happens is the outer layer, okay, the ectoderm and the endoderm, this diploblastic type of layers you find it in porifera and coelenterata. So in some types of porifera and coelenterata they are diploblastic, that is they are made up of two layers, that is ectoderm and endoderm. Now in triploblastic, triplo means tri, means three layers, outer layer, middle layer and inner layer. Outer layer is ectoderm, the inner layer is endoderm, and from the cells of ectoderm and endoderm, mesoderm, that is meso means what? Middle. So a layer in the middle is formed, that is the mesoderm. Now see, let us continue with body cavity, that is coelom. Okay, see, cavity between the body and internal organs is called as body cavity or coelom. Now see, the cavity which is there between the body and the internal organs, that is the outer layer, the innermost, you can see here. See, I will show you. This is eucoelomate, okay. Now see, when you cut it here in the middle, what happens? This layer you can see. Now see, you can see here this outer layer, okay, this is the ectoderm, right, and this is the endoderm. Now in see, you can see the coelom in between, you can see over here this cavity which is there, okay, that is the coelom. So in case of multicellular animals, during initial period of their embryonic development, body cavity is formed from either mesoderm or gut. Okay, so what happens, in multicellular animals, I told you that this germ layers which are developing in the embryonic stage, they further develop into tissues. Now see, the mesoderm which is there, okay, in multicellular animals, during the initial growth of embryonic development, body cavity is formed from this mesoderm or gut. So body cavity is formed from the mesoderm or the gut. Such type of body cavity is present in animals of phylum Annelida and all phyla coming from Annelida. So this type of body cavity which is there, which I showed you, okay, yes, this type is found in the animals of phylum Annelida. Annelida means example earthworm and all comes under Annelida. Leech, earthworm, all this comes in Annelida. Okay, now see this phylum, okay, in this type, in this phylum, that is organisms, you find body cavity which has been formed from mesoderm. Such animals are called as eucoelomate, animals with true body cavity. So this type of animals, they are called as eucoelomate. Why eucoelomate? Because they are having a true body cavity. Body cavity is absent in case of animals from phyla Porifera, that is Sideria and Platyhelminthes. So body cavity, okay, it is absent in case of phylum Porifera. In case of phylum Porifera, you don't find that this body cavity, that is Sideria and Platyhelminthes are the examples, and that is why you call such type of animals as acoelomate. So those who are having true body cavity, they are called as eucoelomate, and those animals which are not having body cavities are called as what? Acoelomate. Okay, yes, it's called as acoelomate. And you saw the examples, eucoelomate examples, Annelida, like earthworm and all, and the animals which are not having body cavities, like that is the acoelomate animals, are Sideria and Platyhelminthes. In case of animals from phylum Aschelminthes, they have body cavity, but it is not formed by the above mentioned two ways. Hence those animals are called as pseudocoelomates. Now see, now the animals which are not having true body cavity, they are called as acoelomate. Okay, yes, now like Sideria and Platyhelminthes. Now in Aschelminthes, okay, in case of animals from phylum Aschelminthes, what happens is they have body cavity, but they are not formed by the above two methods, above two ways, and that is why those animals we call it as pseudocoelomate. Pseudo means false. Yes, so pseudocoelomate, you can see here, see, these are the eucoelomates. Then you can see the pseudocoelomates. Yes, you can see the ectoderm here, and then endoderm is there, mesoderm, the red color one is the mesoderm, and pseudocoelom, you can see this white cavity, okay, that is the pseudocoelom. So this pseudocoelom, okay, you find it in Aschelminthes. Then acoelomates, you can see, you will not find any body cavity at all. You find this blue color, that is the, see, this blue color is the ectoderm, okay. Then the endoderm, this yellow color is the endoderm, and you can see in between the red color, that is the mesoderm, but you don't find any body cavity, and that is why this type of animals are called as acoelomates. See students, coelom or body cavity. Okay, so a fluid filled space between body wall and alimentary canal is known as coelom. So there is a space, I told you, between the outer wall and the inner alimentary canal. So that is called as coelom. So it's an empty space. Okay, so that we are going to call it as coelom. So a fluid filled space between body wall and alimentary canal is known as coelom. So that is a empty cavity or a empty space. Now there are, according to the coelom, it's divided into three. Acoelomate, eucoelomate and pseudocoelomate. Now acoelomate are the animals without coelom, and those are called as acoelomate. So they don't have any empty space in their body. Okay, examples are porifera. So in this, what happens is there is no digestive system at all. So this protozoa and porifera, okay, they do not have any coelom. So this coelenterata or Sideria, this also doesn't have digestive system. Platyhelminthes or flatworms, okay, again no digestive system. They are parasites, and therefore they live on other host, and that is why they do not need any digestive system, and hence they do not have any coelom. Now pseudocoelomate means what? Pseudocoelomate, they do not have cavities. Means there is a cavity, pseudo means false, but these are lined by peritoneum. Okay, so they are not lined by peritoneum, a thin cellular membrane which is derived from mesoderm. So there is a cavity, but this cavity is very small. So you can see here, okay, the cavity which is there, this white color cavity you can see, okay, it is very small, isn't it? So it is called as pseudocoelomate. Now eucoelomates, they are having true coelom. Okay, a proper coelom, they are having a proper body cavity is present in them, and that is why they are called as eucoelom. So you can see here this white color layer. Okay, now that is according to the coelom they are having. They are divided into schizocoelous and enterocoelous. This is not there for you. Okay, yes. So I hope you must have understood this. Okay, now body segmentation. So we will see the next criteria, that is the body segmentation. If the body of animals is divided into small similar units, then such body is called as segmented body, and each small unit is called as segments. Animals like earthworm from phylum Annelida, you must have seen. Yes, earthworms, they are having segments on their body, isn't it? There are lines like this on their body. So what happens is, this is going to divide them, okay, into similar units, small similar units. So then what happens is, because they are divided into small similar units, their body is called as segmented body, and each unit is called as segment. Animals like earthworm from phylum Annelida. So examples for this are earthworm. Now see animal types as per body cavity. Okay, now see kingdom Animalia. Okay, so see kingdom Animalia, multicellular organisms without cell wall, then body organization, cellular grade and tissue. Now see the kingdom Animalia. Okay, with the help of the above mentioned criteria, how animals are classified. Okay, now see this kingdom. It's according to the kingdom, it is Animalia. Okay, now see, it is divided into cellular grade and tissue organ system grade. Okay, according to the body organization. Now body symmetry, see, cellular grade is classified into asymmetrical body and tissue organ into radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. According to the body cavities, see, asymmetrical body, they are having acoelomate. Okay, they are the acoelomate. Radial symmetry, again acoelomate. Then bilateral symmetry into 3. Okay, that is acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and eucoelomate. So in bilateral symmetry, all the 3 are present. That is acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and eucoelomate. Then see, the acoelomate, okay, the phylum Porifera are the acoelomates. Then Cnidaria, these are also acoelomates. Then Platyhelminthes are acoelomates. Then Astralminthes are pseudocoelomates. Then see, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata are eucoelomates. So this classification, okay, is very important. Now phylum Porifera. So let us study the phylum Porifera first. So you are going to study all this in detail. That is Porifera, Cnidaria, Platyhelminthes, Astralminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. I have told you how to remember this, isn't it? Now phylum Porifera, see, these animals are with simplest body plan and are called as sponges. So how is the body plan? It is very, very simple. Okay. Yes, and they are called as sponges. They bear numerous pores on their body. What is the meaning of pores? There are small hole-like structures, small holes. Okay, you can see on the chalk there are small minute holes, isn't it? Just like you must have seen the sponge which you use for rubbing and all. Yes, they are having small holes, isn't it? Just like that, these animals, okay, which are called as sponges, they also bear numerous pores on their body, and those pores we call it as ostia or oscula. Now these are aquatic animals. Means what? These animals you are going to find it in water. They are water living animals. Most of them are marine, means sea water. They live in seas and oceans, saline water, and few are freshwater dwellers also. So most of them, they live in sea, saline water and oceans, but a few, they are freshwater dwellers also, like lakes, rivers and all. Most of the animals have asymmetrical body. Okay, so most of the animals, there is no symmetry in them. They are asymmetrical. They are having asymmetrical body. These animals have special type of cells called as collar cells. So what type of cells are present? You can see over here. These are called as collar cells. These animals are always attached to substratum. Okay, so they are attached to the substratum, hence do not show locomotion. So you can see you can see they are attached to something base, okay, and that is why they cannot move from here. That is, they cannot move here and there. They are going to be stationary. So they are not going to show any movement. Locomotion means what? They are not going to show any movement. Hence they are referred to as sedentary animals. As sedentary means they are going to live in one place. Their spongy body is supported by spicules or spongian fibers. So they are supported by spicules or spongian fibers, thread-like. Okay, spicules, they are made up of calcium carbonate or silica. So it's going to be strong, isn't it? So the spicules which are there, they are made up of calcium carbonate or silica. These animals feed upon small organisms taken in their body along with water. Water is taken in through ostia and given out through oscula. So what happens in a sea? Water which is there, okay, it is going to enter. See, I'll show you. See, water is going to enter through this, okay, flow through this like this, and then it's going to go out through this osculum. So it will enter through this ostia, okay, it will enter through ostia and come out through osculum. And when water is entering through this ostia, small fish-like animals also enter through this, and this is the food of the sponges. These animals reproduce by budding, an asexual method or bisexual methods also. So if asexual reproduction takes place, then it is budding. It takes place through budding, or sometimes through sexual method also reproduction takes place. Besides, they have good ability of regeneration. You know the meaning of regeneration. When any part is cut off, they can, yes, grow into a new sponge. Yes, so that is the regeneration. So they have good ability of regeneration. Examples: cycon, then euspongia, bath sponge, that is also called as bath sponge, this euspongia, then Hylonemma and Euplectella, etc. Students, see, we'll see a small clip, okay, regarding this porifera. So,
includes multicellular eukaryotic organisms.
Whittaker's classification.
Most animals show a high level of tissue differentiation. Kingdom Animalia is divided into two phyla, Invertebrata and Vertebrata. Invertebrates are the animals without a backbone, and vertebrates are animals with backbones. Let's first take a look at Invertebrata, which is further classified into 8 phyla. Phylum Porifera, Phylum Coelenterata, Phylum Platyhelminthes, Phylum Nematoda, Phylum Annelida, Phylum Mollusca, Phylum Arthropoda, and Phylum Echinodermata. Phylum Porifera includes paw-bearing animals which are commonly called sponges. Although they are most common and diverse in the marine environment, around 150 species of sponges live in fresh water. Sponges have very simple structures and are either radially symmetrical or asymmetrical. Sponges are highly branched, cylindrical and hollow. A cavity called spongocele is enclosed by the body. Their body is supported by a skeleton made up of calcareous or siliceous spicules or spongian fibers. Sponges have a loose organization of cells which are specialized to perform different functions. The different cells found in sponges are pinacocytes, which form the protective layer of the body, choanocytes that maintain the water current inside the body, and amoebocytes which store reserved food. Sponges exhibit Holozoic mode of nutrition. They capture food brought close by water currents, which are created by choanocytes. The food material is then digested by the process of intracellular digestion, and the remaining water is thrown out of the body through the osculum. In sponges, the process is such as a system of canals. Choanocytes line the inner surface of these canals. Through ostia, the water enters the spongocoel
See how
and leads
water
through a
enters through
single large
ostia
osculum.
and how it comes out through osculum.
Sponges reproduce asexually by budding, fragmentation, and even by regeneration, where or even isolated cells of a sponge can regenerate
So you saw how the reproduction asexually takes place. That is with the formation of
or
budding.
reorganize into a complete sponge. Sponges can also reproduce sexually. The male gametes are released into the water by a sponge. Fertilization between these male gametes and an egg cell then takes place in the body of a neighbor sponge, resulting into the formation of a new individual.
So sexual reproduction also can take
Some important examples here: Cycin or Scypha, Euplectella,
These are the
commonly known as
examples
Venus flower
of
basket,
sponges.
and Euspongia, commonly known as the bath sponge.
So you can see the pores on their body also, isn't
Based
it?
on certain similarities such as intracellular digestion and the resemblance of amphiblastular larva to a flagellated protozoan, it is said that sponges may have evolved from colonial flagellated protozoans.
Students, I'm sure you have got a detailed information about this sponges, isn't it? That is the phylum Porifera. So, in the next video, let us study about phylum Coelenterata or Cnidaria.